Stay with us today as Steve prepares a copycat eggplant parmesan from Olive Garden. Alright, so we're going to get started helping them out just a little bit. I looked it up and it says to pick these when they're still shiny. Now this one's been in the refrigerator, so it's got condensation. I just took it out. But so what we're going to do is cut the top off. We are going to use a vegetable peeler. They said that was the best way, so they're not taking too much of the actual fruit, I guess, itself, or vegetable. So let me get this. Now these little things have some pokey things on them, so be careful. And if you decide to grow them, there's a lot of different types of eggplants, which I didn't know that. Alright, so this is what the inside looks like. Let's go ahead and peel some of this. You wouldn't, if you've never grown one, or, bought one at the store, I had no idea that they were they're like, it's hard to explain. It almost feels like it is styrofoam. The lightness of it, the buoyancy, I guess you could say, of the vegetable itself. That one had a bad spot in it, so there we go, got that off. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and let my man take over, and he is going to cook today. Alright, I'm going to help Steve out just a little bit more. We are going to cut these at 1/4 of an inch thick. And this is what they look like up close. Okay, for the eggplant, what you're going to need is 3 eggs, some type of a cooking spray, of course your eggplant, I've got 2 there, Parmesan cheese that Steve's going to grate up, Italian style breadcrumbs, salt, minced garlic or any type of garlic, and mozzarella cheese. I wanted to show you our newest chicken, the Isa Brown, is laying her eggs now. Look how beautiful and dark those are. So pretty. She's doing a great job. We get 1 a day from her.
Hi everybody. So Nina's got the eggplants peeled and cut, so we're ready to go with those. So we got a bowl, and I'm going to need another one for the breadcrumbs, but I'll get that here in a second. And so we're going to break the 3 eggs in here. And you have to beat the eggs. I prefer using a belt, but you can use whatever you want. I've got a whisk to beat them with, so. So we're going to crack the eggs, put them in here, and depending on how big your eggs or your eggplants are and how many you have, you might need more or less. It just depends. So we'll start out with these. Okay, so I'm just whisking the eggs up, getting them ready. And by all them eggplants, we'll probably have to have more, but we'll see what we do here. We got the eggs done, so now we're going to put the mix of breadcrumbs in. And it says use 2 cups. So I might need a bigger bowl for this, I don't know. And that pretty much uses the whole thing of breadcrumbs. So I'm going to grab a bigger bowl because I think if I start dipping these in there, this stuff's going to go everywhere. So let me get a bigger bowl. Okay, we're ready with the egg wash and the breadcrumbs. they say to some people when they do this, they can taste a little bit of bitterness in the eggplant. I've never tasted it, but some people do. So they say just to lightly salt both sides of the eggplant right before you put them in the eggs and stuff. So we'll do that as we go. We'll just lightly salt it, put a little bit on each side, and then we'll dip them in the egg. And you want to make sure they get coated good. So make sure both sides are coated, and then dip them in here. Make sure both sides are coated really good in the pancos or in the breadcrumbs. And then just lay each one down on your baking sheet. Go to the next one. And just do the same thing. Keep doing it until you get all of them coated and everything, and get them on the baking sheet. So once I get all that done, we'll be back and I'll show you what they look like then. Okay, I guess one important part I left out, before you start all this, turn your oven on and set it for 375 and let it be preheating while you're doing this, so you don't have to wait till afterwards to get the oven heated after you get everything done here. So I happened to think of that. So before you start all this, put the oven on 375 and let it get preheated. All right. Okay, so we got them all done in the egg wash and in the breadcrumbs. So the oven's ready, it dinged, so it's ready. So now you stick them in the oven at 375 for 20 minutes, or until the eggplant is golden brown, crispy, and then they should be fork tender. So whenever you put a fork in them, it should be good. So we'll stick these in the oven, set the timer for 20 minutes, and we're done with those. So with the eggplant, you can, at Olive Garden, I used to get it all the time, and so I got it with spaghetti. They served it with spaghetti. Now, I've seen some people, they've eat it with a side of salad. So it's whatever you prefer, but we're going to make spaghetti to eat with the eggplant, because that's the way I like it. So I got the spaghetti ready, and I got the sauce. Now also on this, you're supposed to use just regular marinara sauce over the top of it whenever you get it done. But since we're making spaghetti, I'll just use the spaghetti sauce. It's just traditional, so there's no meat or anything like that in it. So it'll be all right like that, because I think that's how it was at Olive Garden, but I haven't been to Olive Garden in years, so I can't remember. But so we're going to just do it with spaghetti and spaghetti sauce. And I'll also make some garlic bread to go with it. So okay, so they've been in for 20 minutes, and they're a little bit crispier on the bottom, so I'm going to flip them all over. It didn't say to do that. Then stick them back in for a few minutes out of the oven. So now you're supposed to take and put some mozzarella cheese and grate some Parmesan cheese over top of it. So don't really know how much. I'm just going to put some on each. Okay, I'm going to just shred the Parmesan in the bowl and then sprinkle it on top, and I think it would be. Okay, so we got some grated, so I'm just going to sprinkle it on top. And then we'll stick it back in the oven for 2 to 3 minutes until it's all melted. Alright, so we got it out. We're gonna put a couple pieces on here, and then we'll put some more Parmesan cheese on top of that. You want to taste it, or you want me to taste it?
Well,
Get some spaghetti and pretty good.
it looks really good.
It is. So there you go. That's how you can make some copycat Olive Garden eggplant parmesan.
Yum.